You bet Minnesota is lucky they won?
Yeah, I bet that's the way they feel.
Why you say that?
They didn't play that great. They're better than we are. We played bad, but they let them win. You know?
Okay, well, how about this? People have been talking about Mac Jones should have been the starter all along. How do you think he played today? Pitiful?
Yeah, it's too bad. We love our Bulls, hometown guy, but I'd rather Beathard in there.
C.J. Beathard? They got rid of him, didn't they?
They brought him back the other day.
They brought him back?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
We need a backup.
You need a backup? Oh, okay, so he's going to be gone for the rest of the season, right?
Trevor?
That's what I hear.
I think so.
That's what his wife is concerned about. She put a post out about that.
I don't know. Bye, Peterson.
Yeah, well, hey, appreciate it, man. All right, this is Sports Thrill outside of Everbank Stadium. I couldn't get hooked up fast enough to show you how fast the Jaguar fans got out of here. Another disappointing offensive performance from the Jaguars. They wasted a good defensive performance. Even still, they had the ball in the end with a chance to tie it up, take the lead, and they threw an interception. That after getting 4 interceptions with 1 call back against Sam Darnold, and the Vikings escaped with a victory. Jaguars are now what? 2-8, and the Vikings are now 7-2, and the Jaguars are better than what their record are, but if you keep doing the same thing all the time, you get the same results, then should you have a better record than what you have? Evidently, it doesn't seem that way. So as of right now, the Jaguars, they're 2-8. Look like the coaching staff is going to have to be replaced because you're not getting any kind of production from the offense. Last year, the defensive coordinator, he was let go in the effort to try to make changes. Doug Peterson stood behind Press Taylor in the offense. And evidently that must not have been the problem because the defense is playing pretty well. Now they've had their troubles so far this year, but they did have some injuries, and now they seem to have recovered from that, but they don't have enough offensive production. Mr. Viking, you got any comments about today's game? Mr. Viking? I don't know if you got earphones in or you just ignoring me. I don't know. You guys got any comments about today's game? None at all? Huh? No, it ain't that bad. I don't think anyway. Huh? The referees were bad. That's the first. I didn't hear that one yet. Got me another Viking fan over here. Hey, you guys got any comments about today's game, man?
It was beautiful. Barely.
Why'd you guys struggle the way you did?
It's true. Good point. Good point.
Well, Detroit and Green Bay waiting on you, right?
It was ugly.
The Vikings waiting on you. I like to talk trash to the fans. AB Jacksonville is a struggling team, but tougher teams are way down the line. And this is another point about Jacksonville. You got fans from everywhere in this city. You think they come from Minnesota. Some of them did, but not all of them. That's because the team here, they didn't get a team until 1995. And people here already had their fans. You guys got any comments about today's game? None whatsoever?
Vikes suck, kind
of. He said the Vikings suck. And they won the game. So, you never know. You got any comments about today's game? He don't want to talk to me. That smug look he had on his face, he didn't want to talk to me. That's fine. But about 20 minutes ago, there was a flood of Vikings fans coming out. Normally when you have a good crowd on hand, you're going to have a mixture of all fans coming out. But that wasn't the case today. The fans seem to be all Minnesota. And that's 2 games in a row for Jacksonville where you had the opposing team with seemingly more fans in the stadium than the home team. And it's not a good thing. Now, Jags just fell to 2-8. Doug Peterson is probably going to be on the way out. They tell me that Trevor Lawrence, he's not out for the season yet, but they're fearing that he might be out for the season. And they fired the defensive coordinator last year, and now they're still stuck with the same offensive team that they had from last year. They're not getting any results. So just like the guy that got fired last year, he said that he didn't think he was the problem. And it looks like that just might be the case. He's not the problem. All right. What team you? I am in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville just lost to Minnesota 12-7. Vikings generally a better team, but they didn't play very well offensively. So, you got any comments about today's game?
I need a lift back to my. I think I already ordered one, but I don't
A
know.
lift? Well, my experience with that is you need to stand on the corner, then order it, and stand on the corner anywhere, and wherever you are, pin your location, and the people will come to you. But if you keep moving around, they'll never find you. That's the only thing I can tell you about that. So if you just go to
So my car's at the hotel.
what hotel?
It's a crappy hotel on the beach or in the airport.
At the airport?
Sure, this one.
Okay, there's a lot of Uber drivers around. You already called an Uber or a Lyft?
I don't know. I just want to fucking go home. It says that, but I don't know if I did or not.
Well, pin your location with Lyft and stand wherever you are, and they'll find you.
How do I do it?
I don't know how to do that. I'm just telling you. I'm a Lyft and Uber driver, but I don't know how to pin it because I don't do it. But I'm telling you, that's how we find you, by pinning your location. There should be a thing that tells you where to pin your location.
Pin him then. Find a new driver.
Okay, I'll just find a new driver because you might not have a signal. That might be your biggest problem. Yeah, that's probably your biggest problem. I can't help him out with that. All I know is, as a Uber or Lyft driver, when the location is pinned, I can come right to you wherever you are. That is pinned. Take me right to you. He doesn't have that luxury. Now he's stuck. He's supposed to be going to the airport, and I don't know how he's going to get there. And the problem with Jacksonville, they turn all the streets one way. So if you're not in a certain location that a driver can get to, you might be here for a while. Just so happens, though, the traffic is not so bad today, and he may be able to get out of here. So I got to get out of here myself. The best way to catch to park and all of that down here in Jacksonville is to do what they call a game day express. If you look over here, normally there's a row of buses there, and what they'll do, you park your car at the garage, they pick you up at the garage, and then you take the bus to the game, and then after the game you go back to the same location. They'll drop you off where they drop you off, and you just get on right there, and they take you back to your car. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see what the fans are saying. I was born here by Seville about me. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm talking strictly about sports. We're not talking about sports. I don't want to respond to that. But Bills fans, how'd you guys do today? I know you guys are doing pretty decent. You got blown out by Baltimore. What you're going to see next week is a team that shows you how to play against Baltimore. I don't know if they won the day. They was having their troubles down in Washington. But Baltimore is a team I know we can play with. So we're going to see how that goes. This guy here trying to get him a load. That's big money business down here, driving these carts. So all these people with the white shirts on, they actually work here.
This is
As part of the crew that works the games. They put their colored shirts on under the white shirts. That's how everybody knows who's who. So that's a little post-game activity here in Jacksonville. You see the traffic's not so bad. Actually, it's not a bad place to be if the traffic is not too bad. But if the traffic gets gnarled around here, like the Florida-Georgia game, you don't want to get caught in that. That's why a lot of people have the habit of trying to get lost. I'm going to catch me one of your game day express bus back to my car, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, all this purple and gold, I was snatching Vikings fans left and right. But in the end, I ended up pulling the guy who had a purple gold shirt on. I thought he was with Minnesota, but no, he was LSU. We didn't want to talk about that whipping last night Alabama put on him. And it was kind of puzzling to a lot of people because they shouldn't be able to run the football like that against LSU. And it's kind of surprising, but if you got a running quarterback, you can do a lot of damage in college and down pro football. But Miro, I don't think he can beat you throwing the football. And if you let him run wild like that, Alabama's going to be a dangerous football team. But they still have 2 losses. And what's next for them? You got to beat Auburn. Auburn, I don't think they're much of a threat this year. But they still could beat Alabama. They've done it to them before. So we'll see how that goes. But I think what you're going to have is one of those teams in the SEC are going to have 2 losses. And because they're going to have 2 losses, they end up losing the 3rd game in that SEC championship game. That might open it up for some teams like a Colorado who may not find themselves in the Big 12 championship game. So, but yeah, I'm here on location at the Jaguar game. Want to catch me one of these game day expresses to get out of here. I see I got a couple of Bills fans on. You guys getting your stadium built right now for $1.4 billion. They're going to do the same thing here, but they won't actually start construction until like 26. Take them about 2 years. So in a couple of years, there's going to be another team around here with a brand new stadium, just like Buffalo, just like Tennessee, and just like a couple other places that opened up. But right here, everybody's trying to get out of this stadium. We're on the east side right now, right under the underpass, and it won't take too long to get out of here once the buses come back. Pretty good setup that they have here, and I'm about to get up out of here. Let me see if this is my bus.
8th Avenue?
Yeah. All right. How you doing, man? I'm the only one? I got a couple of Vikings fans in here. I couldn't get the Jaguars fans to talk to me, man. I wonder why that was, you know? Just kidding. All right. So, got me a nice little comfy seat. Only cost me $10, man. I think it's great. But Jaguars fell at 2-8. Looks like the seat is on fire here in Jacksonville for Doug Peterson. They now falling to 2-8. Vikings went to 7-2, and they're in a good position to make it to the playoffs. But there's no guarantee. But I've seen teams with 2 or 3 losses with 4 or 5 games to go fall apart. So until you get to the playoffs, you hadn't got there. Jacksonville a couple of years ago, they were in a similar position, but they got red hot. Things went their way, and they won the division. Ended up winning the playoff game. That led to Trevor Lawrence get that big contract extension. Ever since then, he's been average. This year, he's been less than average. Now he's hurt. Because he was average all year, the fans were clamoring for Mac Jones to play. Well, Mac Jones finally stepped in. He said he played all right, but others say he played terrible. Until I actually see the tape, I can't tell you what he played. But I do know that changes have to be made here in Jacksonville. I know they have a lot of injuries. They got a lot of their defensive players back. And defensively, they actually played pretty well. Picked out Sam Darnold 3 times. Had a 4th one nullified. So defense is not the problem here. It's offense. Trevor Lawrence is not necessarily the problem. It looks like it's the coaching staff and how they put together plays. They're not calling great plays for their team to be successful. And it shows in the end. But despite all the troubles that Jacksonville has, they're in the game at the end of all of these games. So if I'm going to lose, blow me out. I don't want to be close. I don't want to think I got a chance to win. But if I'm losing all these close games by less than a touchdown every time out, I know something is minor that I just can't quite put my finger on that's holding me back. And that's the case that you have here in Jacksonville. Anyway, this is Coach Hall just rapping about general talk about the Jaguars here at Everything Stadium. Trevor Lawrence injured, brought in Mac Jones. People wanted to see him. Average performance at best, for what I'm understanding. The end result is they lost no matter how he played. So there has to be some commonality with the coaching staff as to why both quarterbacks underperformed. Jones played well in the first half, they tell me, but when the game was on the line, he didn't do it. So he's no better than Trevor Lawrence. But given my experience with being on sports teams, the backups are usually a backup for a reason. They'll come in and give a team a spark. But can that guy that's a backup carry you through all the way? Sometimes it works out that way. Half the time it does not. So, I don't know. Anyway, get a look at the outside over here at Jaguar Stadium. Traffic is not too bad because, like I said, I don't think the stadium was half full today. Doesn't mean the team didn't make money. They made plenty of money, but not the money they could have made. You know, they charging $20 for a beer in there, man. One tall can beer for $20. You gotta want a beer real bad to drink a $20 beer. I would cry about buying a bottle of liquor for $20. But one beer, I can't take with me nowhere? Crazy. I don't want it that bad. And I think that the fans, they like to buy stuff like that to take advantage of the game day experience. And these owners, they take full advantage of that. So, but like all these, if you notice, most southern stadiums, college and pro, they put them on the riverfront. And this used to be the old Gator Bowl. They tore that down to make room for this stadium. And it's right on the St. Johns River. St. Johns River doesn't go straight through, it kind of snakes through. So it snakes around over here, and it goes back around over there, all the way out, and empties into the ocean. St. Johns River, one of two rivers that flows north in the world, the other one being the Nile. Having said that, you don't want to fall in the water here. A lot of people fell in the water and end up on one of them buildings and never hear from them. And somebody just happens to discover you years later. That's happened before here too. But if you can see, that's the Matthews Bridge over there. That's going east to the beach. And this is the Hart Bridge, this green monster over here. That is going to the southeast, a little bit more south, US 1. The original bridge was this bridge. Hart Bridge was first. Arlington Expressway came after that. But it's a nice place for a stadium, right on top of the river. If you remember the Super Bowl, they had those river taxis. So I still think it's a good place for football. Easy to get into once you actually get to the exit point. You can't get there very easy with the Florida-Georgia game, but games like this, when the fans don't show up, it's very easy to get around. So, anyway, I just wanted to make a few comments about the Jaguar fans not showing up. And that's the second game in a row where you have a visiting team. This is the second game in a row where you have a visiting team have more fans in the stadium than the home team. And if you're an owner, you can't be too happy about that. But no matter what, they're not losing any money, so what do they really care? But this is Sports for Real. I have more commentary later about the Jaguars and college football coming up throughout the week. And I'll be in contact with you if there's anything breaking. Until then, this has been Sports for Real. I'm out.